Okay, so back to part 2 of this, where I'm going to get back to the Rodden v. Fauci case. And I think I was at who were these plaintiffs, right? So I said they were pro Fauci plaintiffs, meaning they were representing themselves. Then we have Harriet Hagman, pro Fauci, and the New Civil Liberties Alliance, Texas Public Policy Foundation. Okay, all right, whatever. Here we go. So this was in the Southern District of Texas in 2021, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, November 27, 2021. And basically, the plaintiffs filed this action on November 5th. It's September 5th. So November 5th, 2021, stating that there was a violation of their Fifth Amendment due process, which means that they were denied a fundamental right, such as the right to work, the right to the care, custody, and control of your children, the right to refuse unwanted medical treatment, the right to unreasonable searches and seizures. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. And so they said their Fifth Amendment due process, because I said the Fifth Amendment, remember, it applies to the federal government. So if this was a state actor, he'd be using the 14th. Same thing, different levels of government. Okay. So, so cool. They use this argument. It says that the plaintiffs argue that the order for the mandate of the vaccine violates the Fifth Amendment's substantive due process, which is, again, the same thing I just said, just a fancy word about like your right to work, your right to travel, your right to privacy. Procedural due process is like your right to a hearing, your right to a jury. Don't want to get off topic. But so it says that the plaintiffs argued this order violates the right to refuse unwanted medical care, the right to liberty, and against unconstitutional conditions, which is count 2, and is unconstitutionally discriminatory, count 3. They also claim the order violates the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act's provision requiring recipients of emergency use products to be informed of the option to accept or refuse administration. The significant known and potential benefits and risks of such use are unknown. Blah, blah, blah. Finally, they claim the policy constitutes agency action, right? That was another thing. They were saying that they were acting out. They don't have the authority to do this, essentially. They didn't, and we see agents. I now that I'm learning, I'm getting a little bit smarter. I'm still like a little bit of an idiot. You see these agencies that don't have the authority to do some of the shit that they do. So these people didn't have the fucking authority to impose. Administrative agencies can't override law. It just they can't. Where do they derive it from? So let me just see if I can make this make a little bit more sense. Sorry. The defendants, which includes Fauci, are various members of the SAFER Federal Worker Task Force, aka the Task Force, and the White House COVID-19 response team. Hold on, there's a footnote. I want to read it. What's the footnote? Shit. Did I just lose it? Fuck that. Alright, whatever. 689. Okay, hold on. 689. God, I'm so annoyed. The defendants are various members of the task force and White House response team, various agencies that are a member of the task force and the government of the United States. The members of the task force include certain heads of federal agencies, probably like Chris Wray of the FBI, or like fucking Kimberly Cheadle of like the Suck My Dick group. Just kidding. So basically, you can't get monetary damages per se against the government unless they consent to it, which is like why would they ever consent to that? So everything is usually just injunctive relief, meaning it's an order. It's an order to stop. So if like someone's cutting trees down on your fucking lawn, you better run and get an injunction. I don't know. This is not legal advice, but you might want to look into your options of possibly getting an injunction because you want to stop the person from causing more damage in a sense. Whereas, monetary damages is paying you for the damage that they've already created. Does that make sense? I don't know. So, this is a heated case. Along with filing their complaint, the plaintiffs also moved for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction. Preliminary injunction meaning it's not going to go longer. Preliminary injunction means the plaintiff has basically the favorable win, and until things can kind of go back to status quo, it's going to stay at this preliminary injunction stage. It's not the same as a TRO, a temporary restraining order. And they use this word similarly situated plaintiffs, which is good. That's the legal terminology that I want to use. Is that if I'm representing people, they need to be similarly situated in society together. Like for example, if someone's suffering from, if there's a chemical plant next to my house, but no one else is around here, and I go and complain of a nuisance, is like, well, is anyone else similarly situated struggling? So that it does play a factor. Then it says that they denied natural immunity. Wow. Holy shit. Oh my God. It says, along with filing the complaint, temporary restraining order, the preliminary relief requested would apply to all similarly situated plaintiffs, meaning all federal employees who could establish natural immunity from having contracted COVID. On November 12th, the plaintiffs requested a hearing on their motion, which occurred 4 days later, or on the 16th, and focused largely on the scheduling order, which is just like, when are you going to come in for discovery? When are you going to come in for this? It has nothing to do with like substantive law or whatever. The plaintiff insisted they needed relief by November 28th at the latest, but the defendants replied that 10 of the 11 plaintiffs did not need relief that soon, as they have requested an exemption from the vaccine mandate for religious or medical reasons. So the defense is saying, well, listen, we have people cop out of it because of religious or medical reasons, so we shouldn't have to, pay all this much or whatever. So that's why I kind of like law, guys. It's all about how you sway the argument sometimes. It's all about the semantics, the rhetoric. It's kind of fucked up, but that's why I'm the best, and you need to, always call me, God forbid. Oh, gosh, I can't say that, but, I'm the best. So if anyone's going to do something right and good, it's going to be me. Do you guys know in law school I worked for the Innocence Project? I'm just, oh my God, I need to shut up. It was emotional as fuck. All right, I used to want my own one, but like now I want bigger, and I want to help more everyone. I'm just gonna shut up. Okay. Let me scroll down to the legal standard. So anyone's a plaintiff that wants a preliminary injunction, they have to establish they're likely to succeed, like I said, and that they are likely to suffer irreparable harm. So like I said, if your neighbor is chopping down the trees on your yard, that's permanent. You're gonna suffer irreparable harm. So that's what they're kind of looking for. Then we have the agency action. Okay. So the plaintiffs argue that the task force guideline or guidance is agency action, and like administrative agency like EPA, they shouldn't be ordering anyone, subject to the requirement of the APA. First, it remains that the task force has issued no directive that has the force to any government. What the fuck? These people suck at writing. They implement, to the extent consistent with applicable law, a program to require COVID-19 vaccination for all its federal employees. Executive Order number 14043. He cannot do that. Here, I'll tell you this. your state constitution is going to be a lot more protective than the federal constitution. However, it can't be less protected than. So the federal constitution is very broad and big, right? For instance, an equal protection, like if someone discriminated against you, that the three big things are race, ethnicity, and national origin, right? Whereas in Florida, they tighten their constitution and they say that that disability is included as someone protected under equal protection. So in this instance, the federal employees who were mandated to take this like vaccine were mandated by people who didn't have authority to even do so, by these administrative agencies, these fucking dick suckers. So anyway, it's a long case. I'm just trying to really summarize it for you. Anyway, what happened was that anyway, they didn't win. Excuse me, I'm reading this case really quickly, and I just want to make sure that I have this right. So it says, oh God, no, the plaintiffs actually lost in this fucking case because they weren't able to show the likelihood of irreparable harm or success on the merits. So there's a standard that when you seek some sort of injunction, which is not monetary damages, it's an order. It's like if someone was cutting trees down on your lawn, you want them to stop. So you want them to order to stop, right? But in order to get the court to order that, there's certain things that you have to show the courts that you can do. So one of the things is that you're going to suffer irreparable harm. So let's say that those are antique trees. Yo, judge, I'm going to fucking suffer irreparable harm if these trees are cut down because they're really valuable and my neighbor won't fucking quit it. So like something like that, especially because they're irreplaceable. Then there is, you have to show that you are more likely to win than the defendant. So you can show like, hey, look, I have the survey of my yard and this is where my trees are and this is where this cocksucker is cutting them down at. But those are kind of examples of what the court is going to want to see before they grant some sort of preliminary injunction or any kind of injunctive relief orders. And because the plaintiff here, although it was against Fauci, how did they not show irreparable harm? Like, how do you not show irreparable harm to federal employees that were mandated to take on unwanted medical treatment and then lose their right to work? God, I'm so fucking sick of this. Honestly. And so the reason I looked into this case is because I saw it was a private individual or somewhat suing Fauci, but it was like, it's not just Fauci. It's a lot. It's U.S. Attorney's Office of this. It's U.S. government, and it's like, fuck, yo. God damn, it's all a money's fucking game. Like, it's like I can argue way better than everyone there. I can have the best law, the best support. It's all a fucking who's putting money up someone's ass, and like it just annoys the fuck out of me. So, however, I like their arguments here, and this is something that I think that we might be able to use in today, like for what happened with us, is that let me get my pen and paper really quickly. So what they did was under the Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment, they're the same thing. One applies to the feds, one applies to the states, okay? And it's just about your fundamental rights. So your right to work, your right to privacy, your right to unreasonable searches and seizures, your right to have probable cause before your search, your right to have a warrant, your right to all these enumerated rights that we have that there's procedures that the government must go through before they can just like step on my neck, which they don't always do. So under the Fifth and the 14th Amendment, it basically says that no person shall be, it's like the ADA, no person shall be discriminated against for race, ethnicity, whatever, sexual orientation. I might be confusing this with you get the point. However, for our moving forward, they used the argument under the 5th and the 14th that this was the forced, in a sense, we have the fundamental right not to refuse unwanted medical treatment, right? I don't give a fuck if it's a pandemic, and I don't give a fuck if, like, let's say DeSantis, because states have police power, and police power is the right to regulate the people. The federal government cannot regulate people, individuals. They can only regulate like commerce, like the roads, things that we operate on. They cannot regulate human beings. So states can, and they do this through police power. And police power is the right to govern for or the health, safety, and wellness of the public, right? And so, this is a lot, guys. And I apologize. I feel like, whatever. This is gonna help me one day. Woo! Okay, so moving forward, we can say fundamental rights under the Fifth Amendment, and we can also do it to Gavin Newsom, who was real strict on shit. Who else was really strict on shit during that time? We can hit them for the 14th Amendment, because 14th is the states, right? And the 5th is the feds, okay? So they have violated our fundamental rights to, I would say, privacy, because, they had to know. They were requesting, it was a violation of HIPAA, so to speak, sort of. They were requesting, oh, where's your vaccine card, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say privacy. Then it's a fundamental right to, I would say, also searches and seizures. I could make an argument for that, because why do you need to search me for a fucking pandemic badge when you do not have police power for the federal government? Like, you what the hell? You can't require me to do this. They draw this authority that they don't have, and people buy it because we don't look into it, and that's the problem. And so I'm gonna fucking stay up for weeks looking into this shit, because we need a solution. Anyway, I'm also gonna say the unwanted medical treatment, and then I'm gonna say the right to travel, the right, because if you're not vaccinated, that affects your right to travel, because you can't go to certain places. And then your right to work, too. Obviously, the right to work was fucked here. And it was, I don't know the proper legal terms for this, but overburdensome, inconvenience, but way, way worse, because they were requiring the vaccines within certain deadlines of times, and so people ended up getting fucked because they had to they couldn't wait the full amount, even though these things were bullshit, whatever the hell they were. And people were just getting sick from that, and no one was really giving a shit. They were just saying it as, oh, Biden's Band-Aid. This is Biden, this is what's, whatever. Finally, they put it on Biden and not Trump. How about that? Ay. So let me pull up the case for the actual court document. Here we are. Ay. Sorry, I'm just reading through what I want to do. How long I don't even know how long I've been on here. Doesn't matter. Okay, so here are my notes. All right. Good job, Faith. Good job. So, right, I had said that we have the right to refuse unwanted medical treatment. The vaccine was not done until a waiting period. So it was, because there was a waiting period, it was some sort of mandate. And the vaccine, stating it was for emergencies, allows, I believe, under the FDA for it to be distributed. Again, another administrative agency. The federal employment was contingent on vaccines. So that's Amendment 5 and 9. And let me tell you, that's exactly what I just said, is that my right to work has been infringed upon. Sorry, my notes are not done. Oh, what it did. Oh, that's a good note, Faith. What I wrote was, what this did was nullified informed consent and does not recognize natural immunity, which in turn infringes on our rights. So basically, the federal employee vaccine mandate violates both constitutional and federal statutory rights of the plaintiffs who are similarly situated, because it undermines their bodily integrity and autonomy and conditions employment on their willingness to take what for them and those working with them is a medically unnecessary vaccine. Yo, this person went hard. Accepting federal employment does not mean serving as a guinea pig for emergency drug use. Yo, this guy's a fucking G. I'm gonna have to find this guy. I guess this is the guy I'm gonna chat with. I don't know. He's probably won't even answer my call. Who knows? Forcing plaintiffs and others to take this vaccine will provide no discernible, let alone compelling benefit either to plaintiffs or to the federal employee community. Yo, might drop, but they keep going. The unconstitutional conditions doctrine exists precisely to prevent government actors from clothing unconstitutional objectives and policies in the garb of supposed volunteerism. Oh God, that's good. So they're saying like they're trying to confuse us. They're saying, oh, it's volunteerism, but no, motherfucker. Wow, this is great for me. I like this shit. When the actors fully intend and expect that the pressure they are exerting will lead to the targets of such disguised regulations succumbing to the government's will. Okay, I don't know what that meant, really. I guess people are scared they're going to be under mind control. No. Plaintiffs accordingly invoke this court's Article 3, and inherent powers to insulate them from this pressure. I mean, like, to, like, barrier them, like, put them, you know, not literally, but, like, keep, like, protect me, to insulate them from this pressure and to vindicate their constitutional and statutory rights. Whew. So, I mean, this is, so like I said, this stuff kind of happens. So, like, the administrative state, what happens is, like, we have these now we have the vaccine mandates, and there's like various different types of them and stuff, but they have a like OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, suddenly claimed that they had the authority or the power to tell private employees and employers that as part of OSHA regulations, anyone who had over like 100 employees has to have all of them vaccinated or has to fire them now. And hold on. And then they say, actually, that we want to get the general vaccination numbers up. Not that your health places is unhealthy. It'd be one thing if OSHA, and a lot of people had a problem with the OSHA statute, but okay. Like, God, I'm sorry, guys. You speed me up or pause, or I don't fucking know. Okay, so it says, it says, whatever OSHA can do, it might say, you know, you need X amount of ventilation, or your offices have to have this kind of ventilation. If you have this many employees or whatnot, you have to have this kind of like health and safety issues or concerns in your, you know, vicinities or whatnot. Or like, yeah, that's a health and safety occupational concern or issue. And it's like, all right, fine, but why? But where's the policy? Why is there an administrative agency, like, acting as a legislative branch? That they're out of authority, and so, wow, they took them to court on that and they won. That's pretty. I wonder if I'm talking like too long to myself. Oh wow, this is another point I wanted to hit. So there's been like some pressure on companies to. Sorry, I'm reading. Okay, so the various companies that make these, like, that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. I'm sorry. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this to you. Okay. Okay, so here's another thing that didn't stop the executive. The administration still says, well, we think that all employees should be doing this. And so they're telling all employers, the executive who runs and gives more than 100 employees plenty of what? So these are fully approved by the FDA. And who's the employees? And who are the employees going to sue down the road? Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So they're not even, they're going to sue their fucking employee later. Wow. I'm freaking real. Okay, there's one last thing and I'll shut up. There is another fundamental right, and it is if you're a parent, you have the right to the care, custody, and control, CCC, of your child. So that means, like, your child does not belong to the fucking state, and that I don't have the case law or any of that in front of me. I'm actually getting a little tired, and I'm more interested in getting back to taxpayer standing and how I'm gonna do this, and how I'm gonna do this. All right, guys, thanks for listening. If anyone listened, thank you. Have a great day, night, whatever it is.